Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show. I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit the like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. And now, let's get right into the markets. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And you can see the war definitely taking another turn. And now that we're attacking back and forth, a lot of things happening in the oil recently rising. With rising oil, what happened to S&P and Nasdaq on Friday? You can see Dow was down 0.77%. You got Nasdaq going down 1.40%, S&P down 1%, Russell going down 0.5%, advancing got 34.2, declining 62% almost for the day. So that is a massive decline on Friday. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. You can see energy led the way on top, and week to date also energy was up, I think, almost 5%, and technology was down pretty big. And on Friday, everything else actually went red except energy names, which they were up over 1% on the day. And you can see it right here on stock market map what's happening. Energy names and pretty much a lot of red pockets except healthcare names like Eli Lilly, J&J, some of the names from healthcare and energy. These are rising. The big names took a big hit. Nvidia, Microsoft. You can see right here some of these memory chips names. And then Apple was flat. Google, Meta was down also. Now, when you look at fear and greed index, we're back on fear 37. Uh, Market sentiment, you can see almost 45% are bullish on the market, 22.2% are neutral, 32.9% are bearish, and we have lots of earnings coming up this week. Starting with some of the big names like GM, 3M, then we have Tesla on Wednesday after closing. We got Google, we got ServiceNow, IBM, and then we also have Intel on Thursday. And a lot of these earnings are going to move the market. So next week there is going to be lots of volatility here, and we got to be prepared for it. So let's get right into it. On Apple stock, it was slightly up on Friday, hitting another all-time high and then backing off, but not going red for the day. And you can see that 329 right here. When you go and look at hourly time frame, you'll see that is the level that is holding so far into closing, and we came down here multiple times on Thursday's session and even on Friday, and it's holding. So Apple earnings coming up in just a matter of a few days. I think just more than a week left here on Apple. And if this thing, comes down under 329, watch out for a quick flush, possibly down to that 323 area. But as of right now, doesn't seem like this thing is going to come down anytime soon unless we get some sort of a news, some catalyst, or some gap down here. Apple, if this thing holds 329, we might see 338, 340 here going into next week. So watch out. Apple definitely on a big move. I mean, this was the correction here. We had this bear flag played out here, but then since we put in this bottom, I mean, this is a monster move to the upside in just a matter of 2.5 weeks, going back up to a new all-time high. And I think what's happening here, I mean, it took over Nvidia's market cap at one point, and then the main thing here, guys, the news, the headlines, the 5G market cap, that's going to happen, I think, and we just need few bucks here to make that happen. Now, is that going to happen before earnings? I don't know, or maybe with the earnings or after earnings. We'll see about that. But as of right now, very strong response from the bottom here on Apple, and no signs of any pullback. So this thing here we have to watch next week. On Microsoft, it's down 1.82%. And talking about Apple's strong response and hitting all-time high, this is doing the complete opposite. We had this nice move up on Thursday, and even on Thursday, it did not hold up. It came back, and then look at the gap down on Friday. I mean, all the way down to 389. So all the gains that we had last week pretty much gave back right here on Microsoft, and now it's holding right here. If you look at my screen, that 5-day moving average right here, it's right about 394, and that's where we're holding. So if this thing wants to move higher, we need to get over 397.67 and especially over 406. If we can break that, definitely it's heading higher. And just like Apple, we do have earnings coming up in just a matter of a week or two, and we'll see if they can, come out with some good earnings, some good guidance. That will definitely help because we went very quickly up to 460, 470 here, but then gave back all the gains, came back to make a new low here, which is very unlikely for a stock like Microsoft. And if this thing breaks down more, let's say comes back down to 382, that's not gonna be good for the bulls at that point. I mean, yes, this does look like a bear flag here on the weekly and even the daily chart, but I mean, this thing also have this double bottom pattern, but something has to give here. We need confirmation of a breakout or a big breakdown here on Microsoft. But as of right now, still, if you're thinking about long, this is the opportunity of a lifetime here. And I think just like Apple and all the other ones that are actually making all-time highs, it'll go at some point, but it's just disappointing to see that it's not happening right now because they're spending is just too much. It's not like they're not making money, but Microsoft spending so much money, and that's why you're seeing a lot of chop in especially this downtrend. On Tesla stock is down 2.61%, so down about 3%, almost down to 375. You can see 377, and they have earnings coming up early this week, I think Wednesday. So Tesla 375, a key level, does not hold, will come down to 368, 362. To the upside, 390 breaks. We could see some upside, but I think it's just going to chop around until we see earnings, and we have to hear what Elon has to say on that earnings call, and especially the guidance will affect the Tesla here, moving forward next week. All right, so with recent volatility here in this market, this is the right time, guys. And we got so many trade ideas. If you're really serious about trading and you want to do this full time, head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And if you go for annual membership, you do save some money. You get 20% off. On Meta, it's down 2.7%. So Meta was a fantastic play we took here, and we've been riding this thing quite a bit. And last week it was fantastic. I mean, this thing had a massive run, gave back some of those gains, which is totally fine. But you can see from 577 here, this thing ran up to 682. So that is a massive move. And if it gives back some of those gains, it's totally fine. As of right now, you can see even on Friday it came down, but it's holding over 638. So that is technically bullish here. We have a gap at 660. If this thing, gaps up or rises back up, Monday or this week sometime, watch out for Meta to fill the gap at 660 over 664. It will be going back up to 682 once again. On AMD, it's down only 1% on Friday. And AMD and AMU, two plays that I took same day expiration on Friday, was just awesome. I mean, you can see this thing came down. I think I got in at 463-ish, 65, somewhere there, and didn't even look because it was down quite a bit. And soon as I entered, oh my God, I mean, look at the pump, guys. I think I sold right here at 498-ish, and it was 0 DT. So you can imagine, I mean, you guys can go and look at those premiums. It was fantastic. Amy was another one that moved $100. One contract paid big, big money, just one. And AMD, I had couple. So these trades and so many other ones, even QQQ, we had puts on it from before. I think it was 725 where we took because VIX was trading at like $15. That one paid on Friday. A lot of, I think, 13 plus tickers that I took on Friday, and every one of them was pretty much calls after selling those puts that we had swings, and everything went up. And you can see here MU, AMD, SOXX, all those plays went up. So these type of trade ideas are available. If you're really interested, definitely check out the link down in the description for Patreon. AMD big move, and obviously we got rejection here at 503, so it's trading slightly below that. If you can get over 499 to 500, 503, this area right here, you can see a lot of support here. Now that's going to act as a resistance. Then we're going back up. But with earnings coming up, if this thing comes down a little bit more, watch out for that support right here at 470, which did hold that day, even though we went slightly lower. Underneath that, that opens the door for a move all the way possibly down to 430 here on AMD. But with earnings coming up and we had a decent correction, I don't know which way things are going to go. It's kind of in no man's land. If it breaks, it can go down more. But if it holds up, we can go back up to upper range here, which is going to be, 560, 570 again. On Nvidia stock is down 2.21%, and here's another one that we took. It was fantastic. 198 pretty much where I got in, and this thing rallied. I mean, almost almost $8 9 from the bottom, and it was really an awesome play. It did not hold up because I mean, if things are gonna pay same day, why would I hold, right? But so far you can see this. Flag pattern, this channel holding up. We retested, we went back up, and now holding around that support area 203. If this thing holds up, we might go back up to, let's say, 209, 212, which we did a few days ago right here and got the rejection. But if this thing comes back, you want to watch this key support zone right here, this trend, and then 196 to 197 right here. Underneath that, we have a bunch of gaps down here, and Nvidia will likely to come down and fill some of these gaps, which is going to be another opportunity if that happens here on Nvidia. On Amazon, stock is down 1%. So Amazon came all the way down to 243. And you can see we did not really touch this key support area, went back up, got up to 250. I think went green for the day almost, and then faded back down slightly on the day 1%. So 250 breaks, we could be going into that 50-day moving average, 250 to 40, and possibly even higher into 258. And we have a gap on top. This thing comes down 242, 20-day moving average is sitting right there, and this is a key support zone. If that does not hold, watch out for 236 and lower prices here on Amazon. On Google, stock is down 2.17%. So Google had a massive breakdown, had a gap down. And if you look at my screen, day before we saw this big selling and then more into Friday's session and barely holding 342 as a support. So if this thing is not able to go back up and close the gap right here, right about 352 and breaks below 342, then more continuation to the downside will come down to the lower band, 336, maybe even into 328 and into the gap here at 319.43. To the upside, if it goes back up, fills the gap, and trades over, I would say to be safe, 354 right here. Trading over these moving averages and hold up here, then continuation back up to the upside is possible on Google. But as of right now, even if it comes back up, I want to watch this key support resistance zone right here, right about 374. You can see rejection here, rejection twice here, and this area right here just holding up as a big resistance here on Google. On Broadcom, it's down just close to 1%, nothing big, but this is another one. So many plays on Friday. Like I said, anything that you bought calls early morning at opening, you got paid. And this is one of them that I took also. And the same day, money was delivered. Not only we filled the gap from the gap down, we went above and beyond. I think it was right up here, right around 376. And I just got out because, we had this massive move from the bottom, got in at 360 here, and that move was like 14 plus dollars. Who wants to hold? I got rid of it, and then this thing pulled back, but you can see 370 kind of hanging in there. So this is going to be a crucial support zone. You can see bunch of rejection, bunch of trade here before we had this big move to the downside and then big breakout to the upside. So 356 will be a key line in the sand for Broadcom to hold. If this thing rises back up, we need to get over right here 376. Over that, you're going to see 387 and possibly higher prices. But as of right now, looks like a pretty strong downtrend, and this might just break at some point unless we have some catalyst or some good news. All right, so SpaceX down 5.43%. Now, if you guys go back as I started covering this stock from the beginning of the IPO, what I said that you don't want to go anything, especially when it comes into the market immediately and go long just because things were going up and everything looked really good. Like, oh, yes, I'm gonna miss out. Let me just jump in. Look at what's happening now. We're trading below the IPO price, guys, and that is why patience is the key, and you gotta hang on. You can't just jump into something like SpaceX immediately because we know, we've been talking about it in my channel that when it comes to earnings, revenue, income, what Elon is going to say. I mean, unless he makes things up, there's, not much happening here. I mean, how many people are flying into space? How you're making money? So this thing here can go down even more. That is, the main part of covering the stock. Yes, it's a big name now, market moving name. Over $1 trillion market cap. We went close to like 3T here on SpaceX, and now look at what's happening, guys. So I'm not gonna look too much into it. This is a falling knife. Let's just bring this down here because we're not actually. As a matter of fact, I can just do another one here, and this thing is going down pretty fast. And if you're like trading this is also a downtrend here on SpaceX. And unless I see getting this thing getting over like 134, trading over that, then definitely we would come back and just retest maybe 147. This area was holding, right? So this is going to act as a resistance, and we might just back test that area. That could be a trade, but look at the downtrend here, guys. Every time we touch this line, it's coming down, right? So you don't want to be a bull right here, and then next thing you know, it's getting a rejection and making a new low. So SpaceX very risky, but if you're thinking about long, maybe now it's time to slowly start buying into it. But there could be more downside still on the stock because a lot of these names, when they come out in this market, and people hype these stocks, and we all know how Elon hypes his own stuff, and that's how things go. We went very quickly all the way up to 200 plus, and now we're back to below the IPO price. So just be careful if you're trading this. And I'm not into option here on this thing, because if you look at the IV on the options, they're just insane, still insane. They're not like Apple or Microsoft. It's just crazy to see almost 98 to 97% on the IV, especially when it comes to option. So kind of a risky play when it comes to option, but if you're trading shares, I think it's pretty safe if you're thinking about going long, like couple of years, but it's still on a downtrend. You have to give this stock some time. And that's all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated.